Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. We are going to start a new Let's Play series. I've just finalized my Rovanorim series, and in my last episode I was debating whether or not which faction to play. There were a couple of options on my mind, three actually, one of them being the Donan, which are in the south. One of them being Nordenbad, which would be a dwarfish faction in the Grey Mountains, and finally the last one, um, an orcish faction in the Misty Mountains. Now, we will be doing a Let's Play with Nordenbad at some point. We will also be doing a Let's Play with Dane Ironfoot, because there are achievements that we want to get from both factions, from Nordenbad and from Ironfoot as well. However, I suspect I'm gonna get my fill of dwarves, and I'm still not entirely over my Moria Let's Play. So on that note, we won't be playing the dwarves quite yet. The Donan faction in the south, I've tried them before in the past. I've decided, because I failed miserably in the past, I've decided not to tempt fate quite so soon. So we'll be playing the orcs. Now, there are several factions of orcs in the Misty Mountains. In the labels here, you can already see three. Um, of these three, probably Gundabad would be your best choice. They have some very good decisions to take. However, if you don't want to play Gundabad, you can play Gundabad's brother, so Gorgol's brother. They are part of the same dynasty, Ashmag and Ashmag. They have a very different starting position. Mazog here starts just north of Moria, and Gorgol starts in the very war camp of Gundabad. The Goblin King, he doesn't really have a lot of decisions to take, and his position is quite precarious. I'm not going to be playing the Goblin King. We could at some point in the future. There is an achievement for him as well, but it's not a very important one. What we will be doing, however, we will be choosing different Turkish factions because they have their own decision to take, and they're actually related to the Gundabad orcs. You'll see in a moment. But in essence, we will be trying to revive the kingdom of Angmar. Now, the kingdom of Angmar was established by the Witch King himself, and he used it to batter the High Kingdom of Arnor. After the High Kingdom of Arnor split in the three kingdoms of Cardolan, Rudaur, and Arthedain, he quickly took over Rudaur, and Cardolan fell mostly to plague, which left Arthedain, which he managed to break in the end. But we will be playing as Warchief Tharzog, Skullkeeper of Mount Gram. And yes, he does exactly what his nickname suggests. He keeps skulls in neat piles next to his throne, to be precise. Now, the game rules. We're gonna switch Sauron to default. I don't particularly care if Gondor falls or if Mordor falls. Either way, we're gonna attack both of them if we get to that point in the game. Because we do not want to be under Sauron's leadership. We shall be a mighty orc war host, and we will not answer to some fallen Maya or some upstart ranger who claims to be king. On that note, we shall start. Now, the character himself. I've played around with generating this character a couple of times. He is always going to have the traits you see here. He's going to be content for sure, which means less piety. He's going to be wrathful for sure, which means he offsets the piety loss. He is absolutely going to be a tough soldier and absolutely an aspiring blade master. But what he actually has in the military branch will vary. So right now I have strategist and gallant, which are probably the best ones to have. Overseer is not a bad one either because you get absolute control, which increases your income. But Strategist is a very good one because from a military point of view, you will absolutely wreck everyone. And Gallant is good because we'll be needing some prestige and the extra prowess and knights wouldn't hurt either. However, um, we are an orc, and what that means is we have orcish heritage. So that comes with some benefits and that comes with some problems. The first benefit is that it increases life expectancy by about 120 years and the years of fertility by another 80 and fertility by 50%. So what that means is that this character is going to live to maybe around 200 years, thereabouts, and he's going to have a lot of children. And by that I mean a lot of children. Other than that, come the problems, because we learn slower. We're not quite as smart as other people. We get a general opinion debuff and a vassal opinion debuff. So if we look here, no, if we look here, he hates us. He hates us a lot. And he hates us because of Orcish, which is the vassal opinion debuff. And he hates us again because of Orcish, which is the general opinion debuff. So those two stack. So every vassal is going to have minus 65 opinion just because we're Orcish. That's a problem. The levy size is increased and control decline is slower. And we have some terrain advantages here. However, our culture in particular, we are not bone snappers. Our own county starts with bone snappers, but we are actually Wuralthai Madur, or however the hell you pronounce that. And that comes with its own set of problems because, first of all, we are not the culture head, and second of all, for some reason, we have frugal armorers. And frugal armorers decreases the levy toughness by 8 and the knight effectiveness, and it gives a whole range of debuffs. And to offset that, we get cheaper army, and the blacksmith line of buildings increases the number of knights and the size of men-at-arms regiments, which sounds good on paper, right? Because you get more men-at-arms and more knights. Just one tiny itsy-bitsy little problem. It says we get that from the blacksmith line of buildings, and we don't have blacksmiths. So we don't get any benefit from that at all. It is in fact a massive debuff because if we look at our levies, they have a toughness of 2.2. So that means a slight breeze is going to kill them. The rest of our military is just as awful. We have access to Orc Rabble, which come in groups of 300, and you'd think it wouldn't be possible that you'd have stats worse than your levies, but lo and behold, we have a damage of 2.4 and a toughness of 6.1, and they counter nothing. The only benefit they have is that they come in groups of 300 and they are dirt cheap. They are skirmishers. We have access to another group of skirmishers who actually counter something, and whose stats are just slightly better than our levies, and they do get some bonuses. They counter heavy infantry and spearmen, which is not awful, but their stats are still, never mind about the stats. We have access to Orc Warriors. These are quote-unquote heavy infantry. They come in groups of 200, 16 and 13, which is just as good as you can imagine. Orc Pikemen, they come in groups of 200, stats of 10 and 15. They counter a bunch of things. Orc Archers that counter skirmishers, 13 and 9, come in groups of 200. The only decent army we actually get is the Wargrider Scouts, which have, let's call it, an okayish attack rating and kind of awful defense. They do have high pursuit though, which is good. They get a number of bonuses. And like every other orc faction on the map, we get access to siege towers, which are slightly better than trebuchets, which is important because otherwise we'd be stuck with mangonels, which are just awful. So our army is nothing to write home about. Our main opponent early on is going to be Gundabad. And the reason Gundabad is going to be our main opponent is because they're sitting on this wonderful, wonderful county, which is called the Gate of Gundabad, which has a special building, which gives them 1500 levies just because. They also, on top of that, the Grazim culture does actually not have the Frugal Armorer trait, so their levies are actually decent compared to ours. And on top of that, they also get Legions of Gundabad, which gives them access to the Fell Warg Riders, which are a lot better than ours. And they also counter other light cavalry, which is exactly what our wargs are, which is a problem. So they will be able to counter everything except horse archers, which is good for us because their neighbors to the east actually have horse archers. So they won't have a counter to horse archers, at least not off of those. However, they do get access to the same kind of army that we have access to, meaning they can also recruit Warg Rider scouts. So they can counter they can counter Archer Cav, just not with the good wargs. So we have a problem in Gundabad. They also have decisions to improve their military, so they're gonna have access to better military than we would. So we need to take them out quickly, and if we do take them out quickly, we will get access to their decisions as soon as we get the Kingdom of Gundabad. Speaking of, we actually do have a weak claim on the Kingdom of Gundabad, and that's because our grandparent is Bolg. Bolg being the one who was leading the army of orcs at the Battle of Five Armies at Erebor. Bolg being the one who was killed by Born the Skin Changer, not by Thorin, as was portrayed in the Hobbit series. Azog isn't even alive by the point of the Five Armies battle. Azog is actually this guy's grandfather, and Azog died at the gates of Moria. He was killed by none other than a very young Dane Ironfoot. So right now Dane is 230. I think in the books he was kind of like 50 or something when he killed Azog, thereabouts. I don't remember exactly. But this is the kind of background that we have. We are related to the Ashmogs, who are the eternal enemies of Durin. In terms of decisions, we do have access to restore the Empire of Angmar. Now, if we take this decision, we would get an Empire title. Namely, we get the Iron Crown of Angmar, which does not exist. If we have a look at the kingdoms, this is the kingdom of Angmar, and it is de jure part of the High Kingdom of Forodwaith, which is at the north end of Middle-earth, where it's cold enough that you would freeze to death, basically. I'm getting cold just thinking how cold it must be in these areas. But we would get access to the Iron Crown of Angmar, which currently has no de jure land. And to do that, we would have to conquer the lowlands of Angmar. Now, if we look at the kingdom, we can see that it includes the mountains as well. The lowlands is everything outside the mountain range. So if we click on this decision, we will see that it highlights the lowlands. Literally everything except the inside of the mountains. On top of that, we also need to control the kingdom of Exile, which is the Framling kingdom, and we also need to control Gundalok, which is the duchy just outside the gate of Gundabad, which makes the connection between Angmar and Exile, which makes sense. And once we do that, we will become de jure liege of the kingdom of Angmar, the kingdom of Exile, and more importantly, the kingdom of Gundabad. So we don't actually have to control the entirety of Gundabad to become their liege lord. But we will take control of Gundabad, all of it. We must also not have an empire title, so we can only be kings to take this decision. We also have access to unify the orc warbands, which every single orc faction has access to. This is an important one to take, and we will be taking it after restoring the Empire of Angmar. And the reason we'll be taking it is because, well, first we'll get another Empire title, which has no de jure territory attached to it. But the reason we want to take this decision is because we're going to gain the Great War Chief, which is going to give us a buff to prowess and some other stuff. But more importantly, we're going to get Conqueror, which is extremely good. And even more importantly, our culture will discover Dark Servants. We do not have Dark Servants. We do not even know what Dark Servants is. It is not here. It doesn't appear anywhere in here. However, there is someone who has access to Dark Servants, and that would be this guy. This guy does have access to Dark Servants, and what it does is it gives you access to Black Uruks, which are better heavy infantry than regular Orc warriors. It gives you access to Caragor packs, which are actually quite decent heavy cavalry, although they come in very small size. And it gives you access to Olog High. So you can see why it might be important to actually have access to that, considering our military is basically trash. I'm not understating that, it is absolutely trash. Even the Framlings would absolutely drag us through the mud at the moment. And the problem is we're not gonna have anywhere near as good an army as Gundabad for quite a bit of time. Because of their levies, which are also better, they have more knights, etc., etc. Now, we have our own special building. It's nowhere near as good as the Gate of Gundabad, but it does give us 500 levies, which, of course, have their toughness reduced, because, of course, they do. In terms of his family, we want him to get married to someone with good traits. There is no one available at the moment. We don't care about fecund. The bonus to life duration isn't really important. We're gonna live to about 200 years. Another 5 isn't really worth talking about. And orcs are so fertile, you do not need extra fertility. In fact, you probably could do with less. And the hail, because we don't have any physical traits, the hail is probably going to drop off as well. And we absolutely want to avoid stupid. Like, we do, no, just no. No, no, no. We do not want that. Our stats aren't that great when it comes to governing. He is a preset character, so he gets buffs to martial and prowess, but most orcs are gonna be just awful. Excuse me. Right, let's have a quick look. First of all, when it comes to lifestyle, because our vassals hate us, we want to get prepared for anything. And the reason we want to go all the way to prepare for anything is because Court of Shadows gives us a bonus to disrupt schemes' effectiveness, and we will slow down hostile schemes considerably. So we're taking this. We're absolutely taking this because we're probably going to get murdered otherwise. It is good practice as an orc to go down the torturer branch. We won't be going for this straight away though. And the reason it's good is because you want to have as much decay, as much dread as humanly possible, because that would intimidate your vassals. So you want your dread decay to be as small as possible, which this slows down, And the rest of it gives you advantages to gaining dread and some other advantages regarding imprisoning and more taxes and more levies. This is a good branch to go on, especially since you're evil anyway. But we won't be taking this straight away. We will be going for prepared for anything, then we'll probably switch to pedagogy. We'll see how the culture thing develops. If we become the culture head, we will absolutely want scholar and theologian, and probably whole of body as well. We will become scholar orcs. Um, Other than that, we probably want architect, and we probably want avaricious. I don't know how much of this we will have time to obtain. I really don't, because he's already 80. Right, we need a medic. Do we have a medic? We do not have a medic. Do we have a tutor? We do have a tutor, and he's actually not awful. Let's increase stuff. It is expensive. Let's not increase stuff. How much? It's not that expensive. Let's increase stuff. We're not gonna get married straight away. Who is our best marshal? He is our best marshal. So train you. You are absolutely pointless as a spy master. This 11 would do. And she doesn't hate us, which is nice. So let's sway her a bit. Do we actually have... Yes, we do have a steward who isn't completely useless. It's our chancellor. How much is your diplomacy? Not high. And our tutor has 14. As a lore master, you'd be better. And as a chancellor, we'll take the 7. It's the best we can do at the moment. Can we actually marry someone off? Let's see. No, not hostage. Here. Marital status, unmarried, and ladies. Can you bring me a good steward? No. Good diplomat? No. You can't bring me anything worth a damn. What about you? No. And finally, no. Okay. So we don't exactly get a lot of choices there. Our first order of business, we do have some slave pits. We will be expanding on those straight off the bat because we need money, and we're gonna unpause here. Flavor text for the introduction of the Lord of Mount Gram. It tells you about the kingdom of Angmar. Feel free to pause and read, which was established by the Witch King himself. And it tells you a bit about the area we're in. So we need to do a number of things. First, we need to increase our economy. We also need to expand into these 2 provinces here. And the reason we want to expand into these provinces here is because we want to block Gundabad, because they will be taking this. We want to do that badly. What is this? You want an alliance. I'm actually gonna accept this, because you would come in handy. So we now have an alliance with someone who actually hates us, but never mind that. Right, we still need a medic. I don't think we quite have the funds to recruit a medic though, so we're gonna wait on that for a bit. The beginning of this campaign is not gonna be fast. We need to expand a bit. We're surrounded by wilderness. Our army is not exactly great. What we can do is we can raid potentially. How many troops do you have? 1,060, 1,600, and we have 2,900. Let's raise some raiders. And we would lose 73, 73, 73, 73. That's 4. So that's about 300. Let's see if we can raid. We might lose this. Hopefully we don't. He actually has archers as well. But he took his army out of there, which is good. Can we actually marry someone now? Someone who would be good? Uh, Quick is not exactly what I want. I want intelligent. We'll wait a bit more. Can we raid you as well? No, because your army went there to raid, but you're gonna come back. Are we seriously going to lose? Oh wow. Look at how close that is. Very well. We have an extra commander. Oh no, is he going to join in now? You want to fight against who? The axes of Nargobraz have settled right next to him and they actually have an army. I do not have the army to stop this, bro. I'm gonna accept because I can't decline and lose fame. But we are absolutely not going to send troops to fight. Are you at war with one another? Yes. Yes, you are. Which is a problem, actually. Right, in terms of dynasty, we will want him to marry someone with good physical traits. We are going to go for the noble branch. We're probably not going to bother with architected ancestry. We're probably only going to go to resilient bloodline. But we're absolutely taking this. We need better traits as orcs. Like we need air because our offspring are gonna have just plain awful stats. Can we marry someone now who isn't useless? Nope. Right, we have iron loads. We need to build another one though. Now the problem is, can we attack you actually? You're fighting for that one. And the reason we want to attack you, yes we can. The reason we want to attack them here is because this is gonna fall under the Gundabad domain. We do not want this to fall under the Gundabad domain. So, on that note, we're gonna need some military. What troops do you actually have? You have nothing, basically, and you have Orc Pikemen, Orc Archers, and Smakur. Right, so we're gonna need a bit of everything here. We're gonna need... We have Smakur. And we have cavalry. Let's get nothing. We're just gonna get some orc warriors apparently. And we're gonna station you here and you here. And we're gonna give it 5 minutes. Are we still convincing you? We no longer need to convince you. How is that military recovery? It's not quite where we want it. Can we get another siege tower though? And you have almost one, so we need to go now. We need to fight for the same county. We need to raise our military. We need to go quickly. Please don't lose this. You want an alliance as well. No. We are going to lose our ally in the south, and it's going to be a problem because what are you even fighting for? The entire thing. Oh, my days. That is not going to be good. You want an alliance? No, because you're actually our main target. Yeah, that was not exactly surprising. So he now has the power of the entire duchy, which is a problem because he's going to be strong. Uh, yeah, my goal is still the same. You're not vassalized, yeah? No, you're not. So you can see already that despite the fact that we have a bigger army, we're having trouble defeating smaller armies. Like it's not as clear cut as it should be. And they have an even bigger army. So we're in for a world of hurt, basically. If we enforce this, we get 42 gold. Okay. Do we have a truce with you? No. So that means we can conquer you after that. Can we get a better wife now? Not yet. But that's okay, because we actually want to level up some skills before we start having children. Can you win this faster, please? We have other things to do. Namely, we need to increase our economy. Right, so truth is relative. We have taken prisoners. Can we ransom you? Yes, we can. And yes, we can. So how much is that upgrade? 135. We need to wait for that. Luckily for us, our main opponent is actually Craven. Unluckily for us, he's also a strategist and a cavalry commander and a defender, which is a problem. And here we go. He already started to expand outside. We can expand our economy a little bit. And you can improve control. Thank you. I think we're gonna ask him to promote culture in our main domain. This is our culture, and so is this. So, can we declare war on you? Yes, we can. How is our army region going? We are regent. Okay, so in that case, we're gonna conquer you. And the reason we want to conquer you is so that we have a bit more control in our territory, which is still not enough to equal him, I don't think. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So he'll still have more than we do. This is gonna equalize things a little bit though. Who are you anyway? You are the Black Guard. You're a fairly good commander, actually, but you are disloyal. You are Grazim. Is your culture Grazim? No. So, goodbye. So how long is it gonna take to change that culture? 44 years! No thank you. Still no good candidates. That's okay. What we want to do is we want to get pedagogy before we start having children so that their stats get some increases. And we're still not quite there to take pedagogy, so we'll wait with the marriage. It's not that important yet. We can ransom people, and we shall because we need the money. Unfortunately, this also means we can't raid you anymore, but what we can do is we can raid our neighbor. Right, so please increase these, because it would be good to get more money out of them. We are at the limit of how much we can control directly. Can we convert you at a rate that wouldn't be awful? Not quite. We're gonna leave things as they are for now. How are we doing for time? We're at 36 minutes. Okay. So now we need to expand in these two urgently. We also need to secure our own army a little bit. Um, no, she will tell me what she knows. That's okay. We're gonna get angered peasants here, but I don't care. More dread is useful. We are literally waiting for money now. Can we raid you? Zero loot. 28 would be good. And 15. You are now vassalized, yeah? Yeah, you are. Okay. We would lose troops on the way. He doesn't have anywhere near as many as we do. Not that it necessarily makes a difference. What do you have? Orc warriors, smacker, and rabble. Those orc warriors are gonna be annoying, but we do have smacker. We have 3 of them, and you have 2 orc warriors, so you'll be countered there. And we will counter your skirmishers as well. Yeah, I think we should win this. So let's try. Let's go raiding. We would lose about 250 on the way. We can station men-at-arms, that is correct. Iron loads constructed, that's good. We do need to convert faiths. Speaking of faiths, what are our holy sites? Mount Gundabad, Goblin Town, Mount Gram, okay, and Dol Guldur. I understand. Have you raided this? No, you have not. Do you have any gold from there? No, you do not. Let's see if we win this. We do. Hey, we became the culture head. This is gonna go back and forth. However, before it does, we absolutely need to change to heraldry. We need heraldry like we need air. And the reason we need it is because currently our inheritance is governed by the partition law, Heraldry is gonna give us access to high partition. We want this so bad. Like, we need this badly. Other than that, we have everything in the tribal era and the early medieval era. We would benefit from men-at-arms and holdings, but heraldry is the most important one. We also don't want them to adopt any stupid traditions. We want to get rid of this. Speaking of, can we replace you with anything fascinating? Yes, with Beastmasters. We would need a lot of prestige for that. We also don't have By the Sword. So we need By the Sword and we need Beastmasters. Probably in that order. We would probably need By the Sword before we need anything else. So we need a lot of prestige. Can we marry anyone good? This would be good. Amazonian would be good. Let's marry Amazonian. We've taken prisoners. Please, get the prisoners out. Can we raid this as well? So, we are now married. How much do you like us? Not that much. Not that much. We need to sway you so that we can convert you. Can you move faster, please? You're costing upkeep to have you raised, I think. I don't think we have the troops. Nope. We do not have the troops to fight him. Come back, please. He's holding 38 gold, which is not a lot, but it's definitely something. We can start expanding, though. We need to do that quickly. Ideally, we want to occupy this, but I don't think we're gonna get to it in time. And the reason we would want to occupy it is because we would get toughness from the pass. But ultimately, our aim is gonna be to go towards Karn Doom, because we do have a special building here, which is actually fairly strong. Feel free to read about it and, you know, pause, have a read, look at the bonuses. It's a very good building. Right, we got some more money. We could try and raid you. What troops do you have? Not many, but those skirmishers look nasty, and they counter the very things that we have to counter them. Court of Shadows is what we absolutely need. And then you have long pikes, which counter heavy cavalry and monsters. Oh my. I don't think we can beat these guys, if I'm being honest. Light cavalry and heavy infantry. What do we have that could counter you? Archers? Yeah, I'll take 100 intrigue lifestyle. That would be good. I think only archers would counter those that we have access to without being countered. We could get some, but I think we need some better troops than that. So we'll have a look later. What troops do you have? You have archers, rabbles, smakur, and scouts. So we definitely need pikemen. For sure we need pikemen. And the cavalry as well. And once we get rid of the horrible tradition we have, uh, we can absolutely beat him, and we want to beat him because speaking of, how good are you? Train yourself. We're gonna go hunting. We need prestige. This would be better. 150. I guess we're waiting for 150 then. We need prestige because we need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of this so badly, it's not even funny. We're not going to the mining expedition. He's just gonna murder us if we try. I am convinced he's gonna murder us. I mean, he hates us. Come on, thank you. Go hunt. And don't die. You don't have heirs yet. We're hunting a fox, which is trivial. No, you're not jumping boulders. No, we're not gonna do this. Punished poachers is kind of irrelevant. We'll just take the neutral option. After it, someone's trying to kill me. We'll finish it off ourselves. And we get a foxtail, which we can destroy. So give me my money back. We don't really have anything else other than that. We could start colonizing this, but can we improve our economy in any other way? We can. We need 135. Because he still hasn't taken this, I think we can mess around with that. No. No, we're good. We're not gonna insult him, but we're not doing that. Giant bat migration. This can either buff us or debuff us. It buffed us. It's nothing great, but at least we didn't get debuffed. We still need to improve things here. Hey, we have a child. Which means we're gonna have to switch quite quickly to pedagogy. You're still not swayed. That's interesting. So there we go. He started spreading south. South, however, is the way of the Balrog, and you're not gonna make a lot of headway into that. I will be absolutely shocked if he manages to solve the Balrog situation. We're not paying. I'm not losing that money. Does this increase cost? It does not. We're gonna upgrade here first, though, because control is almost restored. I do not like the situation with the popular opinion, but it is what it is. How are we for time? We're getting close to our limit. We have a daughter, and she's Amazonian. Can you be married to anyone good? Not particularly. We're gonna wait on that a bit. Can we actually marry someone good though? Ooh. No. People have their vices. I'm gonna leave it alone. Why do you hate me so much? The faith is hostile. But we'll take it because she's intelligent. We'll absolutely take it. So when she comes of age, we will marry her. Ah, here we go. I don't think I can stop this. We don't have pikemen either. Let's try. I definitely think we're gonna lose our army here. We might win. We're winning because it's a defensive battle. That's good. In theory, that means you shouldn't have the troops to stop us from raiding you. And we'll absolutely want to raid you. Thank you for your wonderful contributions. There goes your brother. So this was his brother. We've taken prisoners. Ooh, 37. Don't mind if I do. We cannot ransom either of you, though. We'll go for hooks. And you can now improve that, because the other one should improve on its own. At least we're getting some income from here. Right, that's enough raiding. Let's not get greedy. Let's get out with what we do have. Right. We'll switch immediately to theology focus, so we get some piety and so we get access to pedagogy. And we have access to calling for a confederation. We will not be calling for a confederation at all. We can, however, improve you, and we shall. Yeah, remove her. So we get bandits in here. I don't care about the bandits, though. Finally, demand conversion. She will accept. Can we seduce you now, is the question. 30%. That's a big no-no. Can we romance you? Oh my days. What is your personality? Honorable planner. I should have gone for something combat related, but whatever. We're not gonna romance her. It's gonna fail miserably. We do have legitimacy issues as well. Right, so you've built that and you're close to 100%, which is good. How are we for time? We still have a bit. That white. Spymaster, Marshal, or Chancellor? Let's go with Spymaster. Right, so there goes the debuff on this one. And we will start to gain some income from it, which we desperately need. We're gonna praise you for your strength of body, considering you're Amazonian. That increased our chance a little bit, but we're still way, way low. Oh, that would be nice. Unfortunately, I got beaten. How? He's only 10. I'm 20. How? How, game? Can you explain how that functions? Right, can we raid you maybe? 1900. I'm coming for you. Hey, we found a soulmate. So that means we're gonna have a lot of kids. You have 28. And how big is your military? Not big enough. Let's try. 1.6, doesn't matter where. Let's raid. We need the extra money and we need the extra prestige. What about you guys? You've been raided, you've been raided. So no. I just hope he doesn't get swallowed up by Aragorn. Speaking of, look at that, he's not dead. And Gondor? Gondor's doing fine. How are we on? We are distinguished. We could go for conquering the duchy here. But, oh hello, 50 gold would be nice. 25 gold would be nice. What we do need now is yet more income. This would be better, I think. We do have some buildings that also give us prestige, but they only give half as much money. We're gonna upgrade the slave pits 3 times. No, no, bring me bounteous plunder. More money, please. We're gonna upgrade these to like level 3 and then we're gonna start to build raiding camps and hunting outposts because these pay a bit as well. And they also give prestige. Another daughter, and she is not Amazonian. I suspect someone is not being entirely faithful. I might be wrong though. He has quite a few troops considering he's just a vassal. Right, we could make you a goblin county. But that would make you a tribe holding. Which would still be cheaper to turn feudal. Let's do this. We're gonna take his stuff, basically. First we're gonna adopt this, so we can take territory. Of course, Of course I'm the target of a faction. Can we take away your land? You're dull, and you're a master of wargs. Yes, we do have a claim. So we can take this. Are we still the culture head? No, we are not. But hopefully he keeps this, and because this has been developed, we can now colonize in addition to this. So we can start a new colony. He's gonna rise in revolt. He has no troops. He probably will rise in revolt as well. In which case we're absolutely getting rid of him. He is a good marshal, but he's not that important. Let's see who rises in revolt. Only you? That's fine with me. So we're gonna siege his stuff, and we're gonna see how much it costs us to turn the tribe into a feudal place, because currently it is just a tribe. The more annoying part is that he is of goblin culture, which is not our culture. And the goblin culture also has frugal armorers, which means they're weak as hell as well. So we imprison you. Can we... Oh, you're good. You're good. Can we ransom you? Yeah, but you have no money. Listen, pal. We can't recruit you, cause what? Cause you're landed. Ah, okay. Well, we'll revoke the title now. Can we recruit you, though? Is the question. And this would cost 100 to feudalize, which is an improvement, I think. So we're gonna do that. Naturally, that means we need to get rid of some places, and I think we're gonna get rid of this, because it's not really built. Can we give land to people like you? No, no we cannot. We do need to give it to someone though. Where is the... It's there. And you have... So the head of the duchy would be in this territory, and these have 3 building slots, most of them. So what we can do is we can give this to a noble, and we can tell him nothing. That's fine. But at least we're no longer over our domain limit, and we can expand safely. We're past the hour though, so I'm gonna pause the... I'm gonna end the episode here. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe as we journey on our Let's Play series with the Skull Taker. Hopefully we're gonna revive the Empire of Angmar and we'll unify the Orc tribes. We'll see where that takes us, because we have a bunch of things to do and plenty of people to loot, and we need to fight the Gulgai and the Anai and the Kuzdai, and if you don't get that reference, you really need to watch the Hobbit series. So, goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.